Picture this. You are a finalist at the Bonvita quiz contest. Derek O'Brien turns to you and asks, where is the center of India? You could say the first thing that comes to mind, or you could keep your cool and say, well, Derek, that depends. There are 3 ways of answering this question. The easy way, the so easy you'll get annoyed way, and the hard, so convoluted that the more I think about it, the more it makes my head hurt, but is also the whole reason I made this video. Wait, start with easy. The easy way. Plop down a flat map of India. Draw a straight line across India's length. Now draw a horizontal line across India's width. Where the lines meet is the middle of India. And without much further ado, that simple spot is not so easy to pinpoint. A lot of people think it's Nagpur. After all, Nagpur does have a monument called the Zero Milestone featuring a lot of horses. It was built by the British in 1907 after the Great Trigonometrical Survey. I'm not sure why they called the survey that, other than a bunch of white men got very tan during the survey. Tan? Get it? So Nagpur used to be the middle of India, but in 1907, India looked a little bit different. What's the middle of India today? Karaundi village in Madhya Pradesh. They even have a nice monument to mark the spot, featuring a lot of lions, because everyone knows lions are cooler than horses. But they're also not the only ones. Barsali, a town 250 kilometers away, also claims to be the middle of India, and they have their own little stone to mark the spot, although this one loses points because it doesn't have any animals on it. Just to add to the confusion, I tried to manually calculate India's center using an accurate map of the mainland, and my results pointed to a totally different point, near Am Chopra, another 100 kilometers away. The center of India is basically somewhere around here. If someone could build a monument at Am Chopra on my behalf, preferably with tigers, I'd be very grateful. The so easy you'll get annoyed way. India is a union of states. There's a union government that works out of the national capital. In other words, a central government that works out of the administrative center of India. So, answer number 2, New Delhi. The hard, so convoluted that the more I think about it, the more it makes my head hurt, but it's also the whole reason I made this video. Wait. India is a nation. Nations have people, and they're not evenly distributed. Where is the center of gravity of the Indian people? If India were a giant seesaw that you had to perfectly balance on your finger, where would you place your finger? Here's the simple version of how to calculate this. We took the population of every state, calculated the state's center points, and used that to pinpoint where the population-weighted center of India is. And here it is. That's not all that different from the geographic centers. So I guess that wasn't so interesting after all, Time to end the video. Except populations change over time, which means the center has also moved over the years. And in India, it's moved only in one direction. Wow, since 1950, India's population-weighted center has moved significantly to the north over every single decade. The average Indian today is more North Indian, largely because population growth in the northern states has been much higher than in the southern ones. And in a democracy, this has real political consequences. The Lok Sabha, India's lower house of parliament, allocates seats to states based on their population. The number of seats per state has been frozen since 1976 to incentivize states to implement family planning initiatives. But this is set to expire in 2026, so the states that are now a smaller proportion of India's population could lose much of their political influence very soon. Something to think about. The end. Except, there is another way to think about India's center. After all, India is a nation, nations have people, people have money, and it's money that makes the world go around. Where is the center of India's economy? Well, it turns out India's economic center was very close to its population center back in 1960. But once the country started significantly building wealth in 1990, it started moving further and further south. So northern India is slowly growing its population, while southern regions are slowly building up wealth. And if those trends continue, migration patterns within the country will change, and India's political weight may get even more disentangled from its economic weight. But in the meantime, those are the many centers of India. I hope you're satisfied, Derek. And if you're bored, watch this video next, or go back to watching reruns of the Bonvita quiz contest. They're fun.